In the great land of India, where elephants roam, and elephants go down to the river to bathe themselves because they love that water, and they love to play with the water there, and they just splash the water because the water is so wonderful. It's so hot in India. And so this is the land right next to China, where all those panda bears are. Where the panda bears are in China, India is where elephants are. And this is the land of Dr. Paul and Margaret Brand. They were missionaries that went to India for many years to serve among the people there. Dr. Brand was a surgeon. He had 3,000 operations, especially on leprosy patients. And Dr. Margaret Brand, his wife, took care of eyes. Thousands of eyes she looked after too. But Paul himself grew up in India among all the great temples, huge temples, very gorgeous temples if you wish, just huge temples with many idols, kind of like elephant gods, snake gods, and cow gods, and rat gods. 330 million gods they had. And this is the land that he grew up in. But there was this great river, the river Ganges, Mother Ganges, that the Indians really respected. This is the great mother of all, according to their traditions. And in these great rivers, the swamis, the gurus, the holy men, everybody wanted to go there and bathe there. And when they died, they put their corpses, their dead bodies, floating on the river Ganges into the arms of Mother Ganges. But deep down in India, there are all these dangers that are there. And Paul's parents particularly were working on the guinea worm, the dreaded guinea worm. The guinea worm that goes into your body and then sneaks around all over the body and then twirls up to certain places, like maybe the foot, because the worm is looking for a cool place. So the foot goes into the water, it's like, it's nice and cool. So they start coming out. And when they come out, they can be as long as 3 feet long. And the waters can be dangerous. So when people bathe there, when people go to the water there, or maybe they want to take some water or something, it's a dangerous place because in the waters there's larvae, these little baby worms, little small larvae, which are then eaten by little small flies, so small you can't even see them. And if you were not careful, you drank water, and the water was taken from, let's say, a dirty bucket, which was what happened to me one day. I went to India, and some man said, have some chai, some tea. And he just rinsed it there, and he poured it up, and there it was. And I said, oh no, I'm not sure I want that at all. Because you get guinea worms that way. And the guinea worm goes into your body, into your intestines, and then it punctures through the intestines, and then it goes into your bloodstream, and then it circulates in your body, and it finds a place to come out. And the key, if you're a doctor or if you're a good scientist, is to bring out some twigs, or like a matchstick. And you take the matchstick and you wrap a little bit of the worm around. But don't pull too hard. You can only like pressure it a little bit at a time, maybe 1 inch a day. So it takes maybe a long time to take out the whole worm. So each day pull a little bit, wrap it around, and then tie it up again. Next day a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then soon you have the whole feet, several feet of worms in your hands. But if you're not careful, and you say, it broke, guess what? The worm goes right back into the body. And then you're in trouble, because then it dies, it decomposes, it becomes pus. And so there's like a whole bag of pus in your leg there. And so the parents of Paul, they had to operate on these people. and they would wear their gloves and make sure it's all sanitary and everything was carefully done and everything, because it was really like lots and lots of pus. The pus was like, ooh. And when you saw it, you didn't like it at all. And it's like, what kind of pus is that? You know? And Paul was watching all his parents doing this, and he didn't like it at all. He said, Father, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And there he would get all get yourself, pull out the wound, maybe cut open the wounds, maybe pour in a lot of medications on it, medicines and everything. It was really bad. He would then pull out his knife and slit it open and then press all the pus. And the pus would all just kind of pouring out all into a bucket. It's like, oh, that's the most disgusting thing. And Paul was just kind of watching and said, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm never going to be a doctor. That's what doctors do. I don't want to do that. So he vowed as a young child, I'll never be a doctor. Because he liked a lot better all the wonderful fruits that were there in India. Oh, they were wonderful fruits. All those great mangoes, the mango land, it's so beautiful. Wow. But there are two fruits especially that were very strange and very different. The one is called a durian. Durian is called the queen of fruits. The queen of fruits. Awesome. It's a great fruit. It's like smelly mangoes. It smells like awful and it smells like great. And later on, I'll take 2 guinea pigs later, that can volunteer to eat it. It's good stuff. But it's like, wow, what a taste. And then there's another kind called tamarinds. Tamarinds are like this. And they're very, very sour. In fact, if you don't know how to eat it, and you just break it open and then bite on it, this is what happens. Ooh, it's like, that is really sour, you know? But if you're really smart, and you mix it in with sugar at home, you just mix it in, and then eat it. Oh, it tastes so good. It's out of this world. It's sour, and then it's like so wonderful. So I need 2 guinea pigs for the durian. We'll have Mrs. Tang, my wife, who comes from Durian land of durians, and she will give it to 2 volunteers. Come over. All right, 2 guinea pigs. I need 2 guinea pigs. 1 guinea pig. 1 guinea pig, 2 guinea pigs. All right, give me a taste of it. See what it looks like. Okay. Is that okay? Are you alive? All right. 1 more over here. Yeah. Don't think. Durian. Smell it. It's like a stinky smell coming up. Yeah. Okay. All right. 4 volunteers for tamarinds. 1 over here. Okay, got you. 1 over here. All right, got you. All right. 1 over there. Yeah, you got it already. 1 over here. Okay. Tamarinds, okay. Take it home, okay? You have to be big enough because there's a nut inside. You don't need it now. Get it home. Okay? But be careful because there's a nut inside. 1 more. Okay, got you. All right. If you're really nice and you can talk to Mrs. Tang afterwards, maybe she'll give you extra. Okay? All right. But in that land of great fruits and tasty fruits and sour fruits and smelly fruits, there's also danger. There's always danger around. Here and there lurks all kinds of danger. You have dangers such as a scorpion. A scorpion kind of stalks you. And then suddenly, his tail, and there, within a short time, minutes sometimes, hours at other times, you just die by scorpions. And they could be around, and you have to be careful where you put your feet, because you might suddenly sort of step on one. And then at other times, there are all these other great things that are there, like snakes, all kinds of snakes that are running around. And the snakes that crawl around are so big sometimes that they gobble a whole frog and just swallow it all over. But Paul wasn't scared of all this. He had grown up there, and he felt, I know this land. This is India, the land that I love. And he would always climb the tall trees there. And he wanted to study in the tall trees because he felt, I could see God's nature there. God made all this. It's so beautiful. You know, the mangoes, the durians, the tamarinds. And here I can read the Bible. I can read all the books up to the top of a tree there. And he would do his homework at the top of the tree. He finished his homework, and he would yell, Mom, 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 I finished my homework. And then Mom would come by, and she would then climb back down, give Mom the homework, and Mom would give another piece of homework. And then he would climb back up to the top of the tree again and start his next lesson. So he loved to do that. But he was always thinking about ways in which he could be up to some mischief. So he was always thinking about things he could do. And there were all these beautiful vines that were everywhere. And the vines would be swinging back and forward, swinging back and forward. And then you could see the monkeys swinging back and forward. So he thought, I can do that too. So he went on many of these vines to swing back and forward. As he swung back and forward, back and forward. Wait. His mom said, don't do that, don't do that. And then his dad said, oh, boys, they're boys. They can get a few fractures. A few bones that doesn't hurt a boy. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And so, good. So he started swinging again and again and again. And then at one point, swing, and then, I'm sorry. Time's up again. Oh. See you tomorrow.